All right, Dolphins fans, so glad to be with you on Dolphins Today. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like the video for the latest Dolphins news, Dolphins notes, rumors, whatever it may be. We've got a great show lined up for you today. And look I made the declaration earlier this week that I think Tua is the best quarterback in the AFC East. Other experts might say I shortchanged him a little bit. We're talking today, maybe Tua's the best quarterback in the NFL. That's right, the National Football League. The way Tua played in Week 1, I think he certainly can make the case for that. We also want to get you updated on the Terron Armstead latest, and I know he missed Week 1, but what are the chances he plays in Week 2? Yes, the Dolphins offensive line played pretty well without him. However, anytime a Pro Bowl offensive tackle is out of the lineup, it's a big deal. So we'll get you the latest on that. And overall, Dolphins trade rumors, we're talking about it here on Dolphins Today. Great show lined up for you. So let's get it going. Tua, he's racking up the numbers already, and the rest of the league is taking note. He was named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 1, and it really was an obvious choice. 466 yards passing. He had the 3 tutties, but that 466 yards in Week 1, that's the third most in a season opener during the Super Bowl era. Who are the only 2 quarterbacks that threw more than him in a Week 1 opener? The great Tom Brady and Dolphins legend Dan Marino. So that's pretty select company to be in, and you got to give it up for Tua. So yes, Offensive AFC Player of the Week. He was also the top-graded quarterback according to Pro Football Focus, and he threw for so many yards. Only Dan Marino and Tom Brady have ever thrown for more yards in an opener. So way to make a statement, Tua. That's our guy. That's number 1. He is him. And look at those stats one more time. 466 yards, 3 touchdowns, and overall grading over there at 110. Very impressive. So I got to ask you, what do you think about Tua Tagovailoa being the best quarterback in the National Football League? And a lot has changed in Week 1. The dynamic of the NFL looks completely different after just 1 week of play. Aaron Rodgers, gone for the season. It is what it is. Injuries are an unfortunate part of the game, but he's not going to be lacing it up for the New York Jets this year. Josh Allen, I said it yesterday, 82 turnovers since 2018, more than any other quarterback. So, again, Tua Tagovailoa might have the case as the best quarterback in the National Football League. And you know who agrees with me? Odds makers. And odds makers don't have a dog in the fight. They're just trying to make money. That's what they do. And as of this week, Tua Tagovailoa is now your favorite to win the National Football League MVP. That's right. Past Patrick Mahomes, past Josh Allen, past anyone else in consideration to be a favorite for the NFL MVP, Tua is at the top of the list. So you got to let me know and give Tua some love. Spam it in the comments. You know he's number 1 on the field and number 1 in the heart. Type number 1 in those comments. Show Tua some love. He deserves it. AFC Player of the Week on offense, top-graded quarterback, and your new favorite for NFL MVP. Show him some love. Spam 1 in the comments. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Because you know what? YouTube has this thing. They want to see the comments going. It's a crazy world we live in out there. And the easiest thing, show Tua some love with the number 1 in the comments. Jeremy, I got to ask you, how do you feel about that statement being Tua number 1?
Oh, I mean, I would agree. He's been the best quarterback so far in the NFL. He looked the best Week 1. And he could even look better this next week with his bookend left tackle possibly playing.
Boom. Look at that. How about that? Because I mentioned it in the opener that Terron Armstead was out in Week 1. It was always his goal to be able to play every single game of this season, all 17 games, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. However, the Dolphins offensive line still played pretty well without him, but anytime you can get a Pro Bowler back in the mix, it's a huge deal. He's been a Pro Bowler 4 times, including last year in 2022. And for this week, he was limited in practice all this week. But Mike McDaniel spoke today and said, look, he's progressing well, and we're hoping to be able to ramp him up a little bit in Thursday and Friday, which would certainly suggest he's trending towards playing on Sunday. So again, it's early, it's Wednesday, take a chill pill a little bit, but the fact of the matter is he is progressing well. So you like to think with that Dolphins offensive line and the depth chart there that Terron Armstead would be your starting left tackle if he's able to go. But worth pointing out, Kendall Lamb played pretty well in his absence, and collectively as a unit, the Dolphins offensive line played really well, not allowing a sack. Tua was only hit twice, and that was a huge part of the Dolphins' success. Connor Williams needs to play a little bit better at that center position. He had the fumble that cost him in the opening drive when the Dolphins went right down the field and then fumbled inside their own 5-yard line. But that right side of the line, Austin Jackson, now he didn't grade out particularly well according to Pro Football Focus, but the rookie or the youngster did not allow a sack, and that was impressive. Robert Hunt also played well from that right guard position. So got to believe that with Terron Armstead coming back, that will give a boost to the offensive line, and that will continue to be a really successful unit for the Dolphins. We're going to do more Dolphins trade rumors, talk all about some juicy nuggets that were out there as it relates to what the Dolphins might be doing or even considering. But first, I got to tell you about Game Time because it is my favorite ticketing app. I use it for live events, whether it be concerts, football games, basketball games, baseball. Anytime I want to go to a stadium, I'm using Game Time. It's an easy-to-use app, and what's really nice is day of the event, you can get last-minute deals because that's one of the specialties about Game Time is they're hooking you up with last-minute deals, lowest price, best seats available, even the day of the event. Because I'm kind of a last-minute guy, I'm not going to lie. Every now and then, I don't exactly have a full itinerary of what the day is going to consist of, but I know if I want to see a live event, even if it's the day of, even if I'm feeling spontaneous, Game Time is the app. Also, what's nice about it is you see an actual picture from your seat. So none of this, diagram or a rendering of what it might look like. You see the real picture. That's a big deal for me because I don't like to be deceived. So, got a special deal for Dolphins fans, subscribers of this channel. When you download Game Time, start a new account, you'll get $20 off with promo code FINSCHAT. Now that's promo code FINSCHAT, PHINSCHAT. So it's just like you're spelling dolphins, but just at the end. FINSCHAT is the promo code, PHINSCHAT. Terms do apply. Download the Game Time app. It takes the stress out of buying tickets. I love Game Time. Super easy to use, and we got $20 off using promo code FINSCHAT when you download and start an account with Game Time. All right, could the Dolphins trade for a running back? That seemed to be the juicy headline that a couple of different outlets were going with because a couple of things here. Raheem Mostert did not practice today, and he wasn't overly effective in week one. Yes, he had the one touchdown, but we know Raheem Mostert can play better and can even be a little bit more involved in the offense, both in the running game and as a receiver. We also did not see Devon Achane, who was inactive for Sunday's game. We saw a little bit of Salvon Ahmed, but you would think that offensively the Dolphins would be able to mix in the running game a little bit more because that's a talented running back room. However, big trade talk rumors circulating around the National Football League because there's a disgruntled running back in Indianapolis who basically is begging to be traded. He hasn't come out and publicly said, hey, trade me, but reports in Indianapolis, out of Indianapolis today are that Jonathan Taylor isn't even with the team most of the week. He goes in, does his rehab workouts, and then he's out of there. Shane Steichen even confirmed that he wasn't even with the team on game day on Sunday. So it feels like Jonathan Taylor has more than 1 foot out the door. He's ready to leave. Of course, remember, he starts the season on the PUP list. That means he has to miss at least the first 4 games. But a lot of reports are suggesting that he'll be ready to go by week 5 when he's off that physically unable to perform list. So the Miami Dolphins, this is according to Bleacher Report on those trade rumors, the Miami Dolphins did talk trades with Indianapolis in the offseason, and they could soon reemerge as a possible suitor. And don't be surprised if Miami is still an option, sources say. That's from Ian Rappaport on Sunday. And again, these rumors are only getting more and more momentum as Taylor continues to be more and more disgruntled. And what a career he's had in 43 games played. He's eclipsed 1,000 yards multiple times in his career. You know, his rookie season really burst onto the scene there. 18 touchdowns in 2021 and just the 4 touchdowns last year. But look, make no mistake about it. This is a guy that can make an immediate impact from the running back position in an already lethal Dolphins offense. Who else is on that trade block? Perhaps, again, that's the beautiful thing about rumors, right? What are rumors? Well, it's what, he said, she said, maybe this, maybe that. So it's nothing definitive, but it is at least worth noting because it's being talked about in a lot of NFL circles. And that includes a trade for Derrick Henry. This was also on that same Bleacher Report article about possible big-name running backs that could be on the move. The Titans lost their first game against the Saints. Derrick Henry didn't exactly play tremendously, but we know what he can do. He's, yes, a bruising back, and that's his reputation. He'll run you over. He'll stiff arm down a defensive back. He'll do whatever it takes, but he's also got blazing breakaway speed, and he is a guy that, again, just like Taylor, when the rock is in his hands, he can change the game in a moment's notice. So, with that said, this is from the Bleacher Report article on Derrick Henry trade rumors. While the 29-year-old may be getting up there in age for his position, he's still a legitimate difference maker. He topped 1,500 rushing yards in 2022 and racked up 119 scrimmage yards in Week 1. If the Titans continue losing, no one should be shocked to see Henry land on the trading block. While Henry has earned a reputation as a bruising, physical runner, he has home run hitting speed. Much like Miami playmakers Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, he is virtually unstoppable once he hits second gear. Adding Henry would give the Dolphins another big play threat. It would also force opposing defenses to respect the inside running game, creating even more space on the block and for Miami's potent passing attack. So, let's break that down a little bit because I like Miami's running back depth chart right now. I like their running back room. I think we saw a lot from the rookie Devon Achane in preseason. We know what Salvon Ahmed can do. And yes, you want to add in Al Ingold as part of the running back room, even though he's a fullback, and Chris Brooks from BYU. But RB1 is Raheem Mostert. And until he loses that job, he'll always be RB1. And I don't think he's done anything to lose that job. And as long as he can stay healthy, he's still a pivotal piece to this Dolphins offense. So what say you? Do you want the Dolphins to trade for a running back? There are some good options out there that make sense. That's why the Dolphins are being linked to a lot of these trade rumors. Type Y for yes, N for no. Do you want the Dolphins to trade for a running back? Y for yes, N for no. It's our pinned comment of the day. So if the YouTube ad hits you, don't worry about it. Don't panic. Just type in Y for yes or N for no. For me, it's simple. I love this Dolphins offense as is. And it's very tempting because, look, bright, shiny toy, it's the sports car. Derrick Henry's like that Ferrari you want to drive, and Jonathan Taylor, maybe like a kind of a more new age car, like the new Corvette or something, and you want to take it out and give it a ride, but is it really worth it? Is it worth the Dolphins investing that heavily in a running back? And I don't know exactly what the return would have to be for Indianapolis or for the Titans in order to land that type of running back that they're offering. But what I do know is the Dolphins running back room is solid right now. It's one of the position groups the Dolphins have decent depth at. And I'm a believer in Raheem Mostert. I'm a believer in Devon Achane. Although he's a rookie, I think when the ball's in his hands, he is electric. We saw that in college at Texas A&M. And Salvon Ahmed, he's been around the block enough. fourth-year guy out of Washington. He can contribute in ways that Frank Smith can get him involved and be a little bit more creative there. And I don't think you want to necessarily take some of the ball, if you will, away from Tua and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I mean, that's the identity of this offense. The running back room can be complementary to some of those star players on the outside, some of those electric, game-changing playmakers that the Dolphins have on the roster. So that's my take on it. I think the Dolphins running back room is good, and it's tempting to go out and buy the Ferrari and make that big investment in a Corvette, but I don't think we're quite there yet. So, hey, listen, I tweet about the Dolphins all the time. So in addition to Dolphins news, updates, everything you get on Dolphins Today, drop a follow on that Twitter as well, because, in fact, I'm getting in trouble at work all the time on my phone. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just tweeting stuff out. So give me a follow at Jake_Reitma. And Chugs, listen, I always appreciate you chiming in on these types of things, because maybe I'm a little bit wrong in saying, yo, I don't necessarily want Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor, but am I wrong?
No, I mean, I would say the Dolphins, it's a want, not a need, right? So I wouldn't hate the move if they got a running back, but I don't think they need it.
Yeah, because especially too, when you think about the investment that it would take to land one of those guys, it really would be a huge, huge investment for the Dolphins to make. And I just don't think we're quite there yet as a team, or necessarily need to be there, because again, you were the best offense in week one. And I know one game sample size, but 36 points on the road in the National Football League, that is mighty impressive. So if you want more Dolphins news, more Dolphins updates, live shows, live watch parties, like our watch party on Sunday, not going to lie, was electric. It was lit. Even the bosses here at Chat Sports were like, hey, your first watch party, it was lit, right? Yeah, it was great. It was amazing. We saw Tua Tagovailoa rally the troops, come from behind. We were going crazy. We were wearing Dolphin suits. We were wearing leis. We were doing the whole thing. And the Dolphins got the dub because you subscribed to the channel. Subs equal dubs. We've been talking about it all week. So if you want the Dolphins to win, give us a sub and follow Dolphins Today to help the Dolphins win, because we know science has proven subs equal dubs. It's that simple.